All right, guys, so today gonna go run some errands and get a boost weather POV drive in the GTI today. So I got this hat because my hair's a disaster and this head strap doesn't help with that. But I got a couple errands to run. Gotta run some clothes up to the dry cleaners. I apologize for how disgusting this car is. We're gonna be doing, I'm sorry, that was probably deafening. We're gonna be doing another video here soon with this car. I'm probably gonna film today as well. One, cleaning the car, and two, fixing an issue, which is why in today's POV drive, you guys are not gonna see this car at full tilt. I know, I mean, people that'll be very upset with me about that, but I'll explain more. And if you watched the Conversation Street live stream we did recently, you would know exactly what's going on. Get us a bit of a really nice cold start. It's very cold today. It is sure disgusting right now, but it still does it. It still does it for me. So if you guys are new to my channel and have never watched me before, hi. This is my 2017 Golf GTI. It is HPA Stage 2 tuned. It's got an 034 or 034 DSG tune. We've got front lit Mark 8 headlights, and we've got a set of Koenig countergrams on Pilot Sport 4S's. It's one of the more recent things to get done to this car. And yeah, it's a wonderful car. I adore it. In terms of mods, it's got stock catback, HPA catted downpipe, new speed intake. So the car is pretty, I would say, light on the motor side, but HPA says it makes over 300 and 407 torque, so I'll take them at their word. And yeah, but anyway, not me going full tilt. The car does have a bit of a very slight issue. Still perfectly drivable as long as I'm not beating on it. And so yeah, we're gonna get started and I'll explain more while we're driving. Oh, so this is the S trim, so I don't get all the nice stuff. I've got Keystar, for crying out loud, and you know, I prefer these with leather seats, so I do like my plaid seats. And no sunroof up here or nothing of that nature. I got custom paddles. It's really the only thing I've done to the interior is the paddle extensions on this. Outside of that, the interior is completely, well, I got this air freshener my girlfriend gave me. So a lot of people may have noticed this in other videos I've done with this car. This has some history to it. So last Christmas 2021, I had been talking about getting one of these for a while. I've wanted one of these cars for a very long time. Of course, I bought mine in January of this year, 2022. And she said, and I quote, "I'm going to buy you a GTI for Christmas." And I was like, okay, I'd like to see that. And so we're sitting there opening gifts at her house with her family, and open a little box that's got this air freshener in it. And now, keep in mind, she at the time didn't know the difference between a Golf R and a GTI. So this is a Golf R. But she was like, well, I told you I'd get you one for Christmas. And I thought it was the funniest thing and, you know, admittedly the cutest thing ever. So I keep it in my car as a token of, you know, her pushing me to my dreams of owning one of these. So sappy stuff out of the way, we're gonna hit the road. I'm gonna cut back to you guys once I'm out of my neighborhood. That way you guys don't know where I live, and I like to keep it that way. And we are back. So I've exited my neighborhood. So let's talk about what's been going on with the car, why you're not gonna see me going full tilt today. And the main reason for that is just I have run into a bit of an issue. Shocking, I know. German car, right? I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys get your, oh, German cars suck, out of the way before I tell you that it's not that big of a deal. So anyway, it's not that big of a deal, like I said. Pretty much what's going on, it seems to be fairly common with GTIs, the Golf Rs, the 1.8 MQB cars, that the wastegate actuator just sometimes gives you the finger. And it just doesn't want to hold the correct voltage, which means that it doesn't operate properly, which means your car may overboost, may underboost. It just doesn't like it, and it goes into limp mode, which I was struggling with this car for a while. I thought it was spark plugs, replaced the spark plugs, did a video on that, took it down because someone had to show something inappropriate on my camera. I'm looking at you, Michael. And then I had to, then I thought it was fine. It was fine for 2 months, didn't have any trouble out of it. Until a couple weeks ago, I was driving to my friend Hayden's house. If you're a long time viewer of the channel, you'll know who that is. And it went in limp mode again. And so I emailed HPA. They told me a bunch of stuff to check out. They said to run a full scan on the car and then check the wastegate actuator just in case. So I did a handful of things. I bought a VCDS, so now I have VCDS. I checked it with VCDS, and then it showed no fault codes. And I was like, okay, well, that's odd. So then I checked the wastegate actuator, and sure enough, this thing is so far out of spec that if I do a full throttle pull, there's probably a good 75–80% chance it goes in a limp mode, which, you know, isn't really what you want to do in your car. I would hope you want to drive it. You don't want to be stuck on the side of the road. So yeah, it is a minor issue that I have to fix, but it is an issue nonetheless. So once I get that taken care of, this car will be back to being golden. And I think it's just it's a fairly easy fix. I just gotta undo a jam nut, tighten the rod up on the wastegate, and then it's fixed. You know, no harm, no foul. That's why we're not getting into it on this POV video, just because I want my car to not go into limp mode, and I want to be able to make it home issue free. But we're running a couple quick errands up here where I live, and so it's not even like a terribly crazy POV video. It's more just talking about the car and just kind of enjoying the weather. So first errand stop over here, and yeah, I love living in a small town to an extent, because it's like there's still a lot of stuff to do out here versus, you know, like, I don't know, I wouldn't say I live in a small town by any means, but, you know, I don't live in like a big city either. I live in a fairly small little town. Let's see, there's usually, there he is, there's a Mustang that hangs out up here. It's a 5.0. I remember, if I remember correctly, it used to be a white S197, but I guess he may have upgraded and got himself an S550. We're in a park where they're little Veloster friends, because GTI guys and Veloster guys can be friends. At least in theory. I'm friends with one. Unite the hot hatches. That's always been my thing. Because there's so much like toxicity and hatred between all the hot hatch groups, and I'm just like, we all drive similar cars, we can be buddies, you know. I love my ST guys, my RS guys, my Golf R guys, of course, you know, my Veloster buddies, you know, they're all cool stuff. I enjoy the hatchback community so far. But anyway, I'm gonna run inside and take care of the first errand. We're gonna go run across the street, do the second errand, and then we're gonna drive home. All right, stop number 1 is done. It's off to the next stop on my list. My car would connect to Android Auto, which I do like. All right, now we are off. So we're not going terribly far, just right up the street, really. There's a way I could go right across, but screw that, because I am not crazy about that entrance. So we're going to just scoot over here and go the long way, because I would much rather do that than deal with that. Pretty much just going to get some more car care stuff. I haven't restocked in a while, and this thing could use it because it is filthy. I need wheel cleaner now, because soap and water just doesn't do it for me in cleaning wheels. My dad swears by it, but it's just not for me. I'm gonna get some non-acidic wheel cleaner, because these are silver wheels, and try not to kill my nice investment. And see if I can get like some sort of tire cleaner while I'm at it too. So we're just gonna pop over here and go in the back way, because I ain't doing all that garbage. That truck is on that Toyota's case. Goodness. So it looks like we've got a couple cars got their hoods up in the parking lot, which means service might be a little bit tight. Oh, Volkswagen, buddy. Oh, Jetta Sportwagon action. Nothing wrong with that. That actually may have been a Golf Sportwagon. I think that was a Golf Sportwagon. I really wish they made a GTI Sportwagon here in the States. I would have bought the absolute crap out of one if they had sold them, but alas, they did not. Let's see, where are you going, buddy? Are you driving? Oh, you are. Looks like some battery changes. I remember doing those when I used to work at a parts store. But just a quick little stop to go find some good stuff. All right, I'm gonna run inside, do this, and I'll be back. All right, so errands are done. I've now got an unreasonable amount of car care gear that I did not need, but I wanted. Some new soap, got some wheel cleaner and some new drying towels. Almost bought a new bucket too, but realized I didn't quite need that. So anyway, now we're on the way back to the house, and yeah, I thought I'd give you guys some boost weather, a little bit of POV experience, even if we are kind of at 50% right now, because I don't want to go in a limp mode on the video. But yeah, I adore this car. This car has just felt so much faster in this weather. It's been fantastic. I'm really excited to get to dive into this car more in the next little while. I've really been debating IS38, guys. And the issue is, if I go IS38, if I still live with my parents, I have to ditch HPA. Because I have to flash the car back to stock to pass emissions. And I can't quite do that with HPA on an IS38. Technically, you could drive a car around with an IS38 on a stock tune, but it is definitely not a smart idea. Is a quick way to do some damage. So I probably would go EQT, because EQT does offer their IS38 OEM Plus style turbo, and they also have their tunes, which thanks to Cobb's BS, you know, you can't disable the check engine light like HPA could. So that's the issue at hand. If I do go IS38, I do have to swap to EQT. As much as I love HPA, HPA did a fantastic job on this car. They've been nothing but great with me. But if I do go IS38, the only way I can say HPA is if I move out of this county, and I can't quite afford that right now because housing market sucks. So yeah, I definitely am looking into that though, because I would like this car to be I really want to just perfect it. And I think an IS38 would perfect this car. I don't need to go Vortex. I don't need to go Vortex XL. I don't need FR450 or FR500. I don't need a GTX 6062 or whatever they use, 6071R, something like that for this car. I just need something that's going to, kind of perfect the power band. And I think an IS38 would do more than enough on that front. This car already does a fantastic job, and I think that perfecting the power band would make it even better. Getting a little bit more power out of it in the top end and kind of dropping the low end torque just to save the engine, because these things blow up before 50 foot-pounds. But anyway, I'm about to get to my neighborhood, so I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, more content coming soon. And I'll see you guys later. Take care.